a couple ground rules that I always say to my yoga participants. And the first one is that there's really no judgment. You do not need to be like a Cirque du Soleil, very flexible person to do this. I'm not a flexible person. And we're all just working towards something. So there's really no judgment of what you can or cannot do. This is about the experience. The other thing is that I want you to really try to focus on your breath, especially as we start to move. It's really easy to start holding the breath as you start working a little bit harder. And then the third thing is, please don't fall. So the first thing that we'll start to do, if everyone's set, is I want you to just start to move the flesh away from your sit bones and just sit up nice and tall in your chair. And just start to close your eyes. And just start to bring your attention to your breath. And just start to watch your breath in. And then watch your breath out. And just start to follow that. See if you can just follow all the way to the end of your inhale. And all the way to the end of your exhale. And just do that about 5 more times, recognizing that the brain will want to wander, and that's okay. Just gently bring it back. And now see if you can smooth out your breath just a little bit. Getting rid of those edges. And do that for 3 more breaths. At the end of your 3rd breath, just gently start to open the eyes and just take stock of how you feel. Now we're going to try a little breathing exercise. So you'll take your right hand and you'll take your thumb and your pinky finger and you're going to bring that up to your nose. And on your next inhale, you'll plug your left nostril and breathe in through your right nostril. So on your inhale, go ahead. Pause at the top. Exhale out your left nostril. Breathe in through the left. Pause at the top. And out the right. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Breathe in right. Pause. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Pause. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Pause. And breathe out left. Just bring your right hand down. Just keep the eyes closed for a minute. And once again, just take stock. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And we're going to start to move a little bit. So the first pose we'll do is called cat-cow. Maybe I'll turn to the side so you can see. With this one, we're going to alternate between opening up the chest and rounding the spine. So this is the cow, and this is the cat. So as you inhale, lift your chest, look up. As you exhale, round your spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Now, if there's one of those motions that you feel like your body needs, maybe just hang out there a little bit. So I know for me, it's definitely this one. And maybe you just take a couple breaths wherever you need it. And when you're ready, you can kind of wiggle it out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to come back to the center. We're going to do a side bend. So a couple options. Some people like to lift one arm and come on over to the side. Some people would rather just move at the hips. Either one is totally fine. If you want to do this standing, you can bring your feet together. Oh goodness, it's hard to see me. You can bring your feet together and reach on over. So lots of options. I'm going to take the seated option. Wherever you are, find a nice inhale, tall spine. And then as you exhale, start to bring the arm over. We are going to do both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you start with. And just see if you can find a little bit more length in your spine with each breath in, and a little bit more bend with each exhale. 2 more breaths here. Inhale to come back to center. And on your next inhale, find that nice tall spine once again. And then as you breathe out, we'll go over to the other side. And there's usually one side that just feels better than the other, and that's totally fine. We're not going to be perfectly symmetrical human beings. So with each inhale, find a little bit more length. And with each exhale, a little bit more bend. Of course, listening to your body. So if this is not feeling right for you, feel free to back off. This isn't the yoga Olympics. One more deep breath here. And as you inhale, come back to center. Wiggle that one out just a little bit. And now we're going to try a twist. So if you're sitting on a chair, just scoot forward to the edge if you can. If you're doing this on the mat, you can sit down on the mat, or if you want to do it standing, you can as well. So on your next breath in, find a nice tall spine. And as you exhale, you'll twist to one side. And I like to reach for the chair or my leg or something. And trying to find some length in the spine here. So just gently tucking your chin and then looking over your shoulder. And much like we did with our side bend, with each inhale, find a little more length. And with each exhale, find a little bit more twist. Two more breaths here. As you inhale, slowly come back to center, wiggle it out a little bit. Find some length on your inhale. And then as you exhale, we'll twist to the other side. And again, tucking the chin ever so slightly and then looking over the shoulder. With every breath, find a little bit more length. With each exhale, a little bit more twist. Two more breaths here. As you inhale, slowly come back to center and wiggle it out. Okay, we're going to try a little bit of a back bend next. So I'll show you the hand position. If you can reach and interlace your fingers, then you can do that option. If you can't reach, that's totally fine. Maybe grab a wrist. And then from here, we'll inhale to lift up. And then as you exhale, we might just start to tip back a little bit and open up the chest. And for the many of us who are working from home, this probably feels really good. And it can be difficult to breathe here. So just do your best. It's okay if you can't get a full breath in. Just try to feel that opening in the chest. And relax your jaw as you go. As you inhale, slowly start to release and just invite a little bit of movement. We're going to try a downward dog on the chair. So if you're doing this with the chair, I want you to spread your hands nice and wide on the sides of the chair, still on top of the chair though. And then start to walk your feet back. I realize you cannot see me. Walk your feet back and just start to send your hips back behind you. Let your head dangle down and maybe shake your head a little bit from side to side. You should feel a lot of stretch in the backs of the legs there. And you might feel some opening in the chest as well. Now, if you're not wanting to go into the full version on the chair, you can also use the back of the chair if that's a little bit easier for you. So a couple of options. Couple more breaths here. This also works really well against the wall if you have a wall handy. As you breathe in, slowly start to come back out. And you can wiggle the body a little bit. So this one in seated, if you have the flexibility in your hip, you can cross one leg over the other. If you're not quite there, that's totally fine. You can cross it over like so and just gently hug it in towards your chest. So wherever you are, you'll probably feel a little bit of a stretch in the hip. And if you like, you can flex your foot up a little bit. And just start to, I like to rock a little bit to kind of feel some opening in the hip. And again, this is good for the people who sit a lot at a desk. So we'll start just loosening up the hip a little bit. And when you're ready, you can just start to close your eyes. And once again, just smoothing out the breath. And then you can slowly start to open your eyes. And we'll take that same leg and we'll just gently hug it in if that's comfortable for you. Trying to stay upright. And now obviously some office chairs will allow for this a little bit better than others, but that's all right. And just kind of breathing into that hip. And if you like, you can close the eyes. Slowly start to lower that leg. And we'll set up on the other side, so you can either cross the leg over like so, or crossing it over like so. Whichever one feels better for your body. Once you find a little bit of stillness and comfort, start to just gently flex the foot. And you can start to close the eyes, finding that nice tall spine. 2 more breaths here. As you breathe in, just start to hug that knee in toward your chest if that's comfortable, keeping your chest up. And then closing the eyes here. At the end of your next exhale, just start to lower that leg back down. And now we're going to do some sun salutations in this seated position. So it's a little bit of movement, a little bit of work. So just do your best to keep up, but remember that you don't need to go through the full range if it doesn't feel right in your body. So the first part is an inhale as we lift the arms up. And then as you exhale, slowly start to come forward, folding over your legs. And your hands might come down to the floor, and that's fine. Just tuck your chin. And then as you inhale, bring your hands to your knees, lift your chest, look up. And then as you exhale, come back down. Inhale, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. And exhale, bring your hands back down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to fold forward any amount. Inhale, bring your hands onto your legs, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer. I'm going to do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hands on the legs, lift your chest. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, hands to prayer.